the black community to realize that the that black people are hurting Asians and they need to speak out in their own community.
This is for everyone you've killed! England murderer!
Hold your fire! This man isn't black!
What?
San Jose police Thursday announced the arrest of 3 model minorities suspected in kidnapping and torture case earlier this year. Investigators state that the kidnapping happened on February 13th when a man was held in the 2600 block of Million Court. Quote, multiple suspects held the victim against his will and tortured and assaulted him multiple times. Investigators stated that the victim was eventually released and turned up at a local hospital 2 days after the alleged kidnapping. Detectives with the police department's robbery unit launched an investigation that led them to the arrest of Duck Nugent, Kim Ho, and Dayton Pham last week. A search warrant related to the case resulted in the discovery of illegal gambling machines and illegal marijuana for sale. The suspects face charges including robbery, kidnapping, torture, and assault with a deadly weapon. San Jose police also noted that during the course of their investigation, they linked Nugent to other crimes, including being the, quote, primary suspect in a major organized retail theft ring that was being investigated by the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office. In that case, Nugent, along with 12 other suspects, were arrested on suspicion of stealing about $150,000 of merchandise from retailers in the South Bay. Arrest in the case followed search warrants that led to 2 residents in San Jose where the stolen goods were found. Captain Brendan Omari stated that was no small operation. This was quite substantial. He also stated that Nugent was one of the leaders of the organization. He is what they refer to as the fence, an individual that receives stolen property and ultimately compiles it for distribution and later resale. The sheriff's office stated that high impact team and sheriff's emergency response team arrested the suspects with the assistance of San Jose and Campbell police departments. As part of the investigation, the high impact team worked closely with Home Depot. The sheriff's office stated that most of the items recovered, about $110,000 in worth, were from Home Depot. Roughly 40 grand in additional merchandise came from Target, Kohl's, Lowe's, Macy's, and Sunglass Hut. Quote, the collaborative efforts between law enforcement and the private sector proved to be instrumental in disrupting the operations of organized retail theft rings. All of the people that are part of the ring face felony charges of grand theft, possession of stolen property, conspiracy, and organized retail theft. Quote, they were hauling things in and out. We didn't know what was going on, but it was people that didn't live there and they did not look very reputable. That was stated by a neighbor who did not want to give his name. Another neighbor described what he heard and saw during the raid. Quote, it happened right when I got up to go to work, and I heard the flashbangs right next to my room, and I heard the commotion outside.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Now, I want to note that looking at the article and reading the responses from neighbors, nobody was, in a sense, really shocked. They weren't really appalled. They didn't really have anything negative to say about their own people committing any of these crimes. And some of the pictures that you can see directly up there, you see a lot of items from Home Depot. I wonder how many of the neighbors of that community bought items directly from those people, directly from that ring. And also knew the fact that it was a ring, knew the fact that they were more than likely stealing all of this stuff. Now, the most amazing thing that you would have to also think about is the fact of the matter of, quote unquote, a minority of a minority community, a quiet community, right? A very smart community, a community that looks out for each other, and a community that ended up actually getting some type of reparations. Not only that, but they had all of the support, especially during the pandemic, getting rules and regulations and all of these things passed directly for them, right? All just to end up having these good old Americans, these model citizens, deciding that they needed to turn to a life of crime. Huh? Huh? I could have sworn in a lot of these tight-knit family type of communities, people will make sure to support one another. What happened? what really happened? It's like, at one point in time during the pandemic, it was like they were just all on a high. Couldn't nothing stop them. They were winning, like Emmys or Oscars. They were winning all of these things, movies all over the place, commercials all over the place, money getting thrown directly at them, all types of crazy recognition. You had K-pop groups coming directly to the White. It was crazy, right? And once all of that light just disappeared, this is what we get. This is what happened after all of that hubbub and that fuss and all of those things that people said were happening on an everyday basis. Like literally, the way that they tried to make it seem during that 2.5 years was that the Asian community was getting onslaughted with a variety of things consistently every single day. Like literally, every single person in the Asian community was going through this every single day. And that just wasn't the case. That wasn't the case no matter how they tried to portray the story, no matter how they tried to paint the story. These things were taking place by other groups, right? Other groups, other groups. And again, I'm just a little bit confused on how it is that these people got raided, right? They found thousands upon tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of goods that they got away with from all of these stores. But the question is, how did you get away with all of these goods? Like you literally had a truck full of stuff from Home Depot. How do y'all just magically just walk out with this stuff as if nobody can see you? Like, did you have a Harry Potter cloak on and you were just like Sim Salabim and you just like teleported out of there? Like, how specifically were they able to do this? Like Ninja Vanish, like what was going on? I need to know. I'm just trying to understand because if it was me, my black self rolling directly into a Lowe's, a Kohl's, a Home Depot, a Sunglass Hut, and the Macy's, I promise you, people would have been already on me. Hurry up and buy. That would have been a thing. that if you're old enough, you remember that from a lot of shows. But yeah, that would have been a thing. I'm just a little bit confused. Like I said before, it's amazing when other folks can just do this continuously to the point where they have this huge net of a crime ring, but yet you have everybody looking at black people. More times than not, I'm seeing other groups of people, I'm seeing other nationalities that are not black committing a lot of these crimes. They're a part of a lot of these rings, right? But yet the main quote unquote suspects, the poster children that they always want to show is black people. Right. And as I've gone over with a lot of these stats, especially dealing with the FBI, they tell you that it's not black people at all, not even close to the ones that are committing a lot of these crimes when it deals with property, when it deals with stealing goods and other types of things, money laundering and embezzlement, all of these things, corporate stuff and whatnot. It has zero to do with black people, realistically. If we're to really look at the numbers, black people are not even close at all. Because again, black people are not the majority. It would be impossible for the black population to go to literally every single state and be in every single store and just steal from no, you would need the population of the reflective majority here, along with the others who have been assimilated and given that status for these things to really transpire and happen on with the type of numbers that it's been happening. Again, it's not black. No matter how they try to portray it, no matter how they try to make it seem, no matter how people try to skew the numbers, and they want to, keep repeating the same things over and over and over again. As I've shown you guys before on the FBI list, we got about maybe three to four on a board. All the rest of those have to do with the reflective majority. But again, a lot of people don't want to look at the real stats and what those numbers directly are and who commits the greater majority of the crimes in the United States. Hint, hint, it ain't black people. Like I said, it is what it is. In order for people to do certain things that they want to do, they have to have a scapegoat. They have to have somebody they can point the finger to and say, like, oh, look at this evil, look at this criminal, look at this thief directly over there, while, they're making away with the whole bank, whole Fort Knox, the whole shebang, right? So again, this is clear cut where we are. And all I'm saying is never forget, 2.5 years. And this is what it's boiled down to. People just going out there stealing. That's crazy. That is completely crazy. But, it's America. It is what it is.